You are not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first. I could not tell you before, because my first wife is royal. That marriage is secret because I am not, and we have a son, a prince. You are not my first wife, but I love you. We two must keep our marriage secret, otherwise I will be destroyed. You are not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first. You will not my first wife. Who told you I am married? And my wife is here too. Well, my first wife is old, but I won't disgrace her with divorce for my children. So yes, in America we won't be legal, but we will marry in the mosque, and you will be my real wife. You are not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first. You are not my first wife, but you are young and lovely. You will be my pleasure wife. I already have children with my first wife. They are my priority, I want no more. I told you to give me none. What? You're pregnant again. I won't love them. You are not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first. You are not my first wife. You are no longer very young. You will never be a first wife. You accepted my offer to be second. Now let me use the bed in your home for my new woman to visit me in. I can't take her to my first wife's home. You are not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first. You are not my first wife, but you were my American wife. I said I would take you to my country. Well, here you are. You can meet my uncles, but no women in my family. My uncles say you must find a way, have our marriage annulled and go home. You are not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first. You are not my first wife. Yes, I married another right after you and I broke up. But now I am in America. Let's do temporary marriage. Wouldn't that be fun? We can be together over here. You are not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first. You will be my favorite. We are a love match, so beautiful you are. Now I must return to our country, to my first wife and 3 sons. All my money goes to them. Have Americans support you. I can't. You are not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first. Second wives aren't legal in the USA. You have no hold on me, and I am still free. You are not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first wife, not my first. You're almost nothing.
Hallelujah. Let Lord Jesus Christ shine forth. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining me. Welcome. And welcome to those who are joining me on Adam Seeker's YouTube channel and his Facebook. Yes, Adam is not here because I officially fired him for a few minutes until he comes back to the stream. So don't be kind of disappointed, those of you who are watching on Adam's channel. He will be here, just not on time. Okay, so everyone is well. I see there are keyboard jihadis. Mr. Keyboard Jihadi, why don't you use your words and then call in and then make your case? It seems like you literally know lots of things about me, the things I don't even know. And it seems some of those things are your area of your expertise, I guess. But you can call in and then make your case. So whatever you call me, whatever you think I do in my free times, or whatever things I do without my will, doesn't make Islam true. So it's not about me, right? So what I'm gonna we wanna discuss today is we wanna review a video which Soko Films published, titled actually I can't see the title, but it was about the preservation of the Quran. It's about the preservation of the Quran. We want to review the video, and we want especially Mr. Muslims to call in and make their case regarding the so-called perfect preservation of the Quran. The reason we are going to review this video is actually has nothing to do with this video, but so on Tuesday, no, I'm not dying. On Tuesday, Mohammed Hijab, the part-time stripper, had a live stream, and that live stream has been made private. So I was told in that live stream he was engaging with a caller on the preservation of the Quran, 2 callers, and in one of the callers, it was about Ahruf and Qiraat. He simply lied so much. In the with the second caller, he simply expressed that actually he doesn't hold the view Quran has been perfectly preserved dot by dot, letter by letter part. So I was going to review that. I asked a brother who was watching the stream to send me the link, and then I got text message was saying, well, video is private. So there was no video. We couldn't review that. And then brother sent me this video, kind of asked me to review. That's what we are gonna do. So those of you who actually, let me see if I can see those things. I don't think I can see those things anymore. I lost lots of my stuff and I never kind of decided to put them together. So there's supposed to be a video on DCCI's channel where we are talking about where Mohammed Hijab is making a claim in Saudi that Quran has been perfectly preserved dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, dot by dot, all those kind of things. Actually, yeah, I've got this one. I have this one. I apologize. I've got this one. But let me find the Mohammed Hijab edition to this one. So it's gonna be Mr. Adnan Rashid first. Let me play this to remind you what we want to talk.
Peace be upon him, word by word.
And frankly, you know, the Quran has been preserved, we believe, since the time of the Prophet till now, word for word, letter for letter, haraka or vowel sign for vowel sign.
There is not a book.
Yeah, so as you heard, Mohammed Hijab is making the claim that dot by dot, letter by letter, all those kind of things are preserved from Muhammad to 21st century. And on Tuesday in his live stream, he expressed, well, that is practically impossible because there were no dots. There were no letters, fully formed stuff, so it's just the sound stuff. But as I said, video is private, so I don't have the evidence of that. I'm just passing what I was told. My brother said the video is private, so we can't show that. But I just want people to kind of remember what Mohammed Hijab said, so that in the future, if you come across with him where he's making actually they didn't have dots at that time, Ahruf and Krat, it's all the same stuff. You can kind of remind him what he said in the past. Of course, there is nothing wrong when people study more, when they are educated more, that they simply change their view. There is nothing wrong people to process their view and adopt a new views. We have no problem with that. But if Mohammed Hijab is going to say, well, it can't be preserved dot by dot, letter by letter, because there were no dots, we want him to kind of just update his audience about it and maybe apologize so that we can move on from things. And then my co-host is, yeah, let me check if it's my co-host. Hello.
Hello everyone, this is your favorite Murtad, live once again with Sister Hatun. Sorry for the delay.
Are you sure you are sorry? You are like late whole 12 minutes, brother.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. I was following the time of Jibreel. He was always late.
Even the coming with the wings.
He was always late, remember? And in Uhud, Muhammad was punched on his mouth and the teeth fell down, and Allah said, Jibreel, do not let the blood of Muhammad fall on the ground. And Jibreel flew all the way down to the earth, and bam, he took hold of the tooth and the blood in his hand and did not let it fall. He was just 10 seconds late. If he was 10 seconds early, he would have placed the hand in front of the punch of the kafir so that Muhammad's teeth would not have been broken. Subhanallah.
Well, I guess I need to remind you that I am told to love you. And in that, I'm just gently going to remind you, our example is Jesus, not Jibreel, not Muhammad, not his dogs, right?
Ouch. Ouch. Now you are slapping me. Ouch.
Don't we have hadith, Jibreel? One of the angels got slapped.
Okay. Musa slapped him and took his eye out.
Yeah. Okay, so Adam, do you want to say hi to people in your channel? So because they kind of probably thought I murdered you. I told them I fired you.
Get stuck for Allah. Get stuck for Allah. Do not get stuck for Allah. All right, guys, welcome everyone on the Facebook channel and on my YouTube channel. Love you all, and I hope you are waiting for this beautiful discussion that we are going to do today because of the perfect preservation of the Quran. And by the way, in this discussion, one of the basic points that I loved is Libiano, the lipstick guy, said, you speak too slow. So imagine when a person like me speaks fast, they have a problem. I speak too fast. When a person like that brother speaks slow, they have a problem that they speak slow. The whole problem is not that whether we speak fast or we speak slow. It's just that they do not have an argument in response. So they have to say something to discredit the person. That's the reality, and change the direction. That is the problem. Yes, sister.
I'm not sure that's kind of why you thought that was the best part of the kind of thing, because he thought Tim was speaking slow. The part I thought was amazing is he expressed, so they are discussing about the preservation of the Quran. Let me put that in the background. Share screen. So they are talking about the perfect preservation of the Quran. And then in one point, he's lying so much and then making so much mistakes, all those kind of things. And this somewhere in here, this is the.
But not I exactly have a problem with your statement. You said at one point he was lying.
Uh, at one
Ah.
point, let's put S there. Lots of
No.
points he was lying. Lots of points he was lying. The moment their lips are moving, that's the sign of lie. But here's the point. Here's the point what he's saying. So they are discussing so far. Please go and check the video on Soko Films, and we are, of course, reviewing this video in the intention of education and critiquing it. Um, and those of you who are in my chat, so rules for the chat is don't abuse the chat. Don't copy and paste the same thing again and again. Otherwise, you will be timed out stuff. So, and if you are talking too much, it's much easier. Instead of like moving your fingers, it will make you to lose calorie. You can just pick up the StreamYard link and then call in. I pinned the link there. Adam, can you pin the link as well, brother?
It's already pinned there, sister. And rule on my chat, no private parts. If you ever used a private part, you will be muted. And no spamming. You guys knows that very well. You wanna abuse me, try to use a nice abuse, or just join in to the StreamYard and then you can abuse. But in the chat, if you use the private parts of human bodies, you will be muted. FYI. Yes, sister.
Okay. Okay, let's get our attention to this part. Somewhere in here, I don't know exactly the time, but I know it's like in this timeline.
You have to be accurate.
You're not even interested.
Just finish, brother. Finish.
This is so sad.
I already told you this is the tactic here. They don't want to talk about Christianity. They want to talk about random shit, right? I already entertained it. Birmingham.
Okay, so perfect preservation of the Quran is a talk about random shit.
It's not only that. So they so far they talked about the perfect preservation of the Quran. They talked about the problems with the manuscripts. They talked about the caliphs. That means they went into the hadith, right? And then what is Mr. Muslim is saying? All this from my prophet to eyewitnesses, to sahabais, to students, to caliphs, to Islamic tradition, it is all that word.
Random shit.
Yeah.
He just said that.
Yeah.
MashaAllah. Subhanallah.
Imagine like someone is like, it's not Christian is saying this, right? Mr. Muslim is calling his holy book and anything involved with his holy book random shit.
And Allah's perfect words.
Yeah,
Quran,
so much respect
Allah's
for it,
perfect
right?
word. This should go in a short, sister. You make shorts pretty good.
I don't
This
make
small
shorts,
part
but I
should
don't know how
go.
to make shorts.
This small part has to go in a short.
I need help with the videos. Those of you who's got gifts and skills and creativity, email me. I'm not hiring anyone. I'm just asking for help. Yeah, so
Freelancer.
the-
Freelancer who works in free.
who works, volunteers, let's say. But so that's was what I'm just like, what on the planet Earth you are calling anything linked with your holy book, with very word of Allah, in front of other Muslims, random shit, and no one steps in and then says, shut up, Islamophobia. No one does that. That was kind of, that's why I put that on the thumbnail. Does it make sense right now? Because people have some problems with my thumbnail. Are you there, Mr. Adam? I'm guessing no.
I was speaking on mute. I'm so sorry. I was like, perfect. This is a perfect location. I missed that location to pinpoint. But
You missed that.
you need, I missed that location.
That timeline, you mean?
Yeah. So
And then, okay, let me bring up other parts. And another funny part, and then we focus on the serious part, okay?
there are serious parts in this discussion as well.
There are, brother, he lies and then he tries to find evidence for his lie and there is no evidence. And this Christian brother is awesome. Like, he just like,
What is his name? I haven't seen him before. I mean, in discussion or something.
Tim.
Tim?
Tim, yeah. So somewhere in here, so all happened so far. I'm just summarizing. We will break into things. So far all happened is Christian brother is going through hadith and then bringing up the hadith and then asking just simple question according to hadith, and then when the Muslim brings up the hadith where they are forcing the things not in the hadith, he's asking questions to make sense of it. Okay. And this is the kind of overall response. Let me go back maybe a little bit. I don't exactly remember somewhere, but somewhere in here.
Yeah, that's the whole problem. You're talking outside of it. Do you understand it?
That's not
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's not how we.
Say what you say.
That's not how we.
They always overspeak.
No, no,
All
you
over
can't
the place.
determine how we establish.
We can.
You can't
Yes, I
determine.
can.
I'm making
I
my
can.
argument.
Your argument sucks. It's
You're
trash.
defending.
Okay, pause. First they overspeak, then they don't let the person finish his argument, and then the argument sucks. Yeah, I pinpointed that location myself.
Yeah, but like, so here's the thing: your argument sucks. It's trash. But the way he says it, did you pick that up? How he is saying?
Your argument sucks.
No, the way he uses the words and then kind of changes his attitude is because like there is kind of gentle conversation was happening. This is like when you pick up, yeah, this is something he stole from someone else, right? There are individuals suddenly they are in the conversation. I'm mainly focusing right now on the part-time stripper in the conversation, and then they notice they don't know how to answer, right? And then suddenly they get this bullying phase with the bullying words. So that is exactly what he did here. Learned from him, and with similar attitude he puts forward. Let me bring that again so you don't miss like who is learning from this.
No,
All
no,
over
you
the
can't
place.
determine how we
We
establish.
can. We can.
You can't
Yes, I
determine.
can.
I'm making
I
my
can.
argument.
Your argument sucks. It's
You're
trash.
defending. You're talking
Your
about.
argument is
No,
garbage.
no, it isn't.
It's trash.
It's not.
It's ass.
It isn't.
Like he is so angry that perfect preservation of Quran is being demolished. He's just renting it out now.
He's using the same attitude of Mohammed Hijab, right? Okay, what is the other words? Okay, sometimes when I'm like I need to write letter or something, so I kind of, okay, that word is very simple, and then you click on the word document and then it says like synonyms, like the words that's similar to that, and then you pick one of them, or you go to Google and then write the word and then it gives you like some other words similar meaning, and then you just say, okay, I'll go with those ones because otherwise my sentence looks like very simple. So he's doing that, right? Okay, trash, ass, sucks, garbage. Like, okay, what are the other words? I can put it in the list so it will grab people's attention. But yeah, this is just good. Islam offers.
They have good dictionary synonym words for trash. That's what you can say.
That doesn't change the fact. He says actually overall, in case like people don't want to kind of stay around stuff, overall just general takeaway for the last couple of decades where Muslims are stepping in and then telling us Quran has been perfectly preserved dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, word by word, dot by dot. I just wanted to remind you that this Mr. Muslim doesn't hold that view at all, or he simply doesn't even want to look into the topic itself. You will pick up as it goes, and then I just wanted to remind, according to fatwas, anyone doubts even one letter of the Quran, they're identified as kafir. So just wanted to kind of put that out in case those of you who doesn't want to stay around and then watch what we are gonna kind of
But
discuss and then make fun
by the
of.
way, sister, did he not said that in the very beginning that the Birmingham manuscript, which is not even a manuscript, 2 pages, that should be called folio, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It's called Birmingham Folios.
Yeah, folio. So because it's just 2 pages. So he said that that is only 99% accurate. By the way, I don't know how they actually
That-
calculate percentages.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Exactly. But once again, he said it is also not 100% accurate. It's only 99% accurate. So in the very beginning, the brother Tim was actually saying, but your other Muslim friend says it's 100% accurate. You're saying it's not. He said, yeah, you're not talking to them. You're talking to me. It's not 100% accurate. It's only 99% accurate. So imagine he first started off with Birmingham manuscripts as not being accurate. You see the problem to begin with. So what is the authenticity or the proof of evidence that he could bring in now? After that, he was only babbling about uh, mass transmission in an oral manner. That's it. That's all his babble was all about afterwards.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do is let's to make sure like we don't represent people wrongly, right?
I don't represent people wrong. If somebody thinks that I have represented him wrong, they are more than welcome to join in and prove my statement is wrong. By the way, FYI, when I say something, I say it after I listen it. And obviously I have to summarize it. Otherwise, Libiano is saying these things like in 10 different ways. So lipstick friend,
Yeah.
if you
So
want to come in, I'll give you a lipstick for free, even though Sister Hatun doesn't use a lipstick. So I will go to Shein and buy a lipstick for you. I don't know why people love Shein nowadays. Do you know Shein is getting
what
so
is that?
famous nowadays?
What
I don't
is
know. That's a online seller, and they sell stuff which includes clothes and lipstick and stuff like that. And it's very famous, especially with the alphabet groups.
brother?
Yes.
How do you know those things? I am woman. I don't even know these things.
No, you are woman, and I understand that. But all of these things that are for women, you don't use them.
Okay, let's focus on our things. It looks like
Like,
you.
look at like, have you ever seen your face on a mirror? Have you ever applied lipstick? Have you ever applied mascara
Brother,
or
brother,
blush on or
okay,
something at all?
brother. Focus.
Focusing.
You were late for whole 12 minutes, and now
That's the idea.
all I am hearing from you is like, yeah, God made Hatun wonderful, but she needs additional things.
Come
And
on.
okay, so
Don't you think I wear clothes? That
I
makes
do-
me beautiful.
I don't know, brother.
Come on,
When
by
was the
default,
last
you should.
When was the last time I saw you? God knows. Allah knows.
By default, everybody knows that everybody wears clothes.
Brother, as you are stating that, someone just came to my mind. He publicly took off his shirt. So
Muhammad?
there are people who walk around and don't put clothes on.
Oh, the follower of Muhammad, who's also named Muhammad with a hijab on it.
Yeah, hijab plus one. Okay, so shall we bring our attention to the Birmingham Folios part, and then we
Absolutely.
start from there? Do you know the timeline for that? If not, I can.
I think that should be like 4 minutes something second mark.
Do you want to control that, or do you want to?
No, it's all yours. It's all yours.
Oh God. Okay, we start. Since did you listen in fast speed or normal?
I listened at 1.5x. Obviously, I can't bear this guy.
Okay, so I listened in the fast speed, so we start in 4-ish then. Okay. Let's start from here.
Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 31.
Okay, so
A little earlier.
yeah, Tim is making a case. Let's start from here. Tim is making a case that he looked at the Birmingham Folios, and Birmingham Folios confirms that current Quran is not matching with the earliest Quranic copies. Okay, so they are focusing with the manuscripts right now.
It consists of parts of 3 chapters, Surah Al-Kahf, Surah Miriam, and Surah Taha. I see variant readings that don't align with any of the 10 qira'at that we have of the Quran today. Shows me, one, that the Quran cannot be preserved. In fact, for example, we have... No, let me explain. Right? Come on. So when we look at the Birmingham Folio, for example, the Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 31, it says washdud instead of ushdud. In the 10 canonical readings of the Quran today, it all say Ushdud. But in the reading of the Birmingham Folio, it says Washdud. Now, according to Dr. Alba Fideli, that reading is attributed to the Codex of Ibn Masud.
Yep.
We know that Ibn Masud, according to the hadith, I think it's Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 4999, he was one of the four who were recommended by Muhammad himself to learn the recitation of the Quran.
Yep.
Yet his reading is not found in any of the 10 Qur'an. So I wondered to myself, how can the Quran be perfectly preserved when none of the 10 Qur'an contain the reading Washdud, which is found in the Birmingham Folio? So this would also mean then that the Birmingham Folio that we have today in Birmingham, I don't know if you've seen it yet, is not 100% true to what we have of the Quran today, within Hafs and Asim or the rest of the Qira'ats. Another thing that I have a problem with.
Oh, you're going on forever.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll let you respond to that.
Yeah. Have you studied textual criticism before?
In what sense?
So when you look at manuscripts, how do you determine?
I just want everyone to give full attention what is going to be said, okay? Full attention, people. Adam, you are muted. Just be aware of it, brother.
And what is original?
Yeah.
What is the variant reading? What is an utter?
Okay.
I just said, yeah. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm giving full attention. Please continue.
Okay. I didn't know that yeah stands for that, brother.
Have you studied textual criticism before?
In what sense?
So when you look at manuscripts, how do you determine what is original, what is not, what is a variant reading, what is an unoriginal reading, what is a scribal error? How do you determine these things?
Well, I can tell you why it's not scribal error.
No, I didn't say it is.
Yeah, but
I'm saying, how is it?
So what I'm doing is
I want to point out at this stage. Muslim is simply acknowledging there are scribal errors. There are differences. Okay? How narrative has changed for last couple of years. Just wanted to point that out before they kind of conclude that.
I'm looking at the evidence from experts, right? So what I cited in Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 31, that comes from Dr. Alba Fideli. Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
It's not a scribal error.
I didn't say it is. You're not answering, brother. You're not.
Okay, how do I?
The conversation.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'm asking you, how is it that you determine if a text is a scribal error or a variant, whether it's original, whether it's not original, whether the text belongs to a family of texts, whether it's a text that is whose origin is unknown?
Yeah.
How do you determine these things?
Okay, so
Anyone?
Basically, he is just admitting Quran has scribal errors, but we are not going to call it scribal error. We are going to call various reading. Did I hear it correctly, sister?
Well, I was going to point out something different.
Okay, you point out something different as well.
So here's the thing. The vocabulary he is using, the approach he is using, where is that approach is coming from?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm just thinking loud by myself. So
okay.
it is coming from how Christians or biblical manuscripts experts are looking at the biblical manuscripts, right? You've got lots of manuscripts. You know their dates. You want to kind of put them in the same category, the way, the style they were written, and then figure out if there is additional word or if there is a spelling mistake from the later manuscripts. You go back to the earliest one and then you say, okay, it is copied from this, and then you can figure out, okay, there is a scribal error which was copied from manuscripts X and then moved on to manuscripts A with the same mistake. So that's how you kind of work them out together. And he's pointing out, actually, this is exactly the same thing we are doing for the Quran. Since when? Since when you are doing that for the Quran?
I have another problem with that approach. If this is what the approach he's taking, when you talk about the Bible, the New Testament alone has over 40,000 manuscripts, around 46,000, if I'm not mistaken, 42 or 46.
5,800 something. 5,856 Greek manuscripts.
That's just Greek. I mean, the other ones as well. Total 46,000 manuscripts in Latin, Greek,
Translation.
and including the translation, 46,000 manuscripts. When you look at all of these manuscripts, you have such a mass of data. You can actually say and tell and express and figure out where is the variant reading is. Okay, because you just have so many manuscripts, you can actually pick up one and say, okay, that's a variance of a scribal error, probably because the scribe of this manuscript was writing something and he missed it.
Comparing the
Or
earlier one. Yeah.
yes, sorry,
Comparing the earlier one. Yeah.
exactly, the other ones. Now, when you talk about a Birmingham manuscript, there is nothing else to correlate except for Sana manuscript, which was recently discovered. But how is he putting that argument there? The first argument that he actually said about uh, various reading, that I thought he was saying about the 10 qira'at. But now this is different, what you are explaining.
Yeah. So he's talking about the manuscripts, and then he says, okay, the way we are going to determine that example in here use this Surah 20 verse 31, and that is a couple of years back work done by a lady from Birmingham. So he's saying for us to figure out if that is scribal error or even that word is what the kind of companions kind of use or Muhammad said, we need to look at what is earlier than that. And how do we know what is earlier than that? We look at the datings, all other things. We look at the script and then we say, okay, this is earlier than that. Let's check that out. But here's the thing. We don't have complete Quran. We already give up the Quran of Muhammad, right? We already give up Quran of Abu Bakr. I know there are some so-called Christian apologists who thinks like, oh yeah, we've got the Quran of Abu Bakr stuff, but that's just a huge lie. Even Muslims don't make those stupid claims anymore. So we don't have the Quran of Uthman. We don't have the Quran of Abu Bakr. We don't have the Quran of Uthman. Okay. And then one of the things we are seeing soon after the Quran of Uthman, one of the earliest manuscripts is identified as Sana palimpsest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then even that doesn't match with the current Quran we are reading. And then experts are saying, well, this Sana palimpsest has companions codex. When it comes to the Birmingham was in the attention because it had only few chapters, not even in its full form, because of the carbon dating couple of years back when it was brought to people's attention. So what are you going to look at for Surah 30 verse 21? You need to see what is earlier than that, right?
Exactly. Or even equal to that.
In the same timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let me just put the actually let me.
So while you go there, I have a very important super chat that I just read, which I wanted to say, but he said it. Birmingham folio carbon dating as of now effect is statistically mockery. No statistical normalization with respect to the volcanic event at the rate 536 plus minus 30 years. We'll do this in 2006 होना चाहिए. It should be 2026. I need someone to prove me wrong. So there is a new carbon dating happening right now, which is called FOLS 2026. FOLS 2026. In April 2026, this folio is again given for carbon dating because there is a lot of 100 years range that was given about this manuscript, and it starts 20 to 30 years before Muhammad even born. So right now, in a summit, they are taking place in Birmingham in June 2026, where they are going to do this carbon dating on FOLS 2026. And because now the carbon dating new advanced method is going to give a plus minus 30 years of gap instead of 100 years. So I think Gleiler is saying that the new one will actually even destroy Islam even further, if I'm not mistaken. That's what he's trying to say.
So carbon dating is simply about the parchment. Okay, so when the animal was killed, that parchment, the thing they wrote on the thing is dated from 568 to 645. But that's when the animal is killed. Okay, writing, the ink and the writing style is what is important. And we've got only 2 pages. We've got only 2 pages. So practically, kind of, there are some problems. Okay, let me just bring up something to people's attention. Stop sharing.
And thank you, Gleiler, for your generosity.
So when this first came out, people were just like, oh, this is the earliest one, this is the earliest one, this is the earliest one. According to scholars, and this scholar who I'm bringing to your attention is like very, very biased with his conclusions as well as his research towards Islam. This is what he says about the Birmingham manuscripts. Apparently, some are still under the impression that Birmingham fragment is pre-Ottomanic copy of the Quran. So carbon dating is 568 to 645. What does Islamic tradition tell us first? When did Muhammad receive this revelation? 610. When did Muhammad died? 632. When did Uthman ordered every manuscripts to be burned?
660 approximately.
Yeah, 650 is something. So this is pre-Ottoman, okay? Date pre-Ottoman. So if you go with this dating as this is for the script, all you are gonna say is Islamic tradition is lying, right? This somehow survived. So Dr. Putin says this is impossible, despite it striking clearly carbon C14 dating. It is clearly a descendant of the Ottomanic text type. So scholars today are dating these 8th century manuscripts. Okay, so this is not one of the earliest they have out there. But look at this. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Look at the image, right? So this image should remind us this dot by dot preservation of the things, right? All these dots, can you see how they are preserved?
There are so many perfectly preserved dots in this two paper.
Yeah. So much dots are perfectly preserved.
But there is another problem with this doctor. The problem is, back in those days, papers are not created in such a way that the paper will be created and it will be in a shop for 50, 60 or 80 years, so that someone will come in and buy the paper and start writing. We are talking about those days when these papers were created for writing. It's not being like sold in a market, in a wholesale and then retail sale.
Parchment, right? You mean parchment?
Yeah, parchment. The paper back in those days, these parchments were papers, right? There are papers for them.
Animal skins, yeah.
Animal skins. So they were not created to go into a wholesale and then go into a retail sale, and then 3 decades have passed and then somebody will come up and pick up and start writing. That's not how that happened historically. Like it is stupid to say that this parchment means like a paper made out of sheep skin or whatever,
Animal skin
was waiting for like 20-30 years before somebody started writing on it. It's silly.
There are the cases we get to see it is written much later, but yeah, so there are kind of questions, right? So Muslims are saying, this is what Muslims are saying, right? People who studied these manuscripts. So this folio it's only folio, okay? Few pages, 2 pages. 2nd century or 3rd century of Hijrah. So they are looking for 8th century. And there are someone says this is 9th century. So the question that is being asked, why there is a variations in Surah 20 verse 31, that variation is not found in many different Qurans we have in our hands. And Muslim response is, well, the way we are going to fix that is we need to find out what is the family of that manuscripts. We need to figure out what our others are saying, and then we will go back to the original by thinking or kind of assuming that everyone kind of thinks, oh yeah, they've got the originals. They don't have the originals at all. It's not only like Birmingham folios, but you've got the same thing in Sana Palimpsest. It goes to the companions, copy of the companions. And amazing thing is these companions, when the one Muhammad says take the Quran from, didn't make into the 21st century Quran. Don't you find that's like amazingly disturbing? Muhammad says, take this guy's Quran, learn it from him. What happens in 21st century? No one cares. What happens in 7th century? His hips are broken. They didn't want his Quran. Ibn Masud's Quran had extra chapters. There were textual variations which Muslim sources are telling that to us. And now we've got the manuscripts, like as I said. Anyway, overall, Sana Palimpsest are the same problem. But who cares? Mr. Muslim calls this as like whole shit, right?
%99% accurate. That's what he said.
Okay, so
99.
okay, let me bring something to your attention.
My attention? Perfect. Yes, I need attention.
How many?
I'm an attention seeker.
You need to change your attention seeker. So how many verses in current Quran?
6,400 and something.
6,236.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, 6,236. Okay, how many verses in Birmingham folios?
2 pages. I don't remember because they were not even verses. The verses were not even numbered over there. So we have to look at the current Quran and number them back, because that was made in a paragraphatic form. So I wouldn't even call them verses. I would have to see the current Quran to see how many verses there are.
Okay, I don't know if I asked you how many verses. I meant how many verses. That's what I meant. I don't know what I said. So how many verses in current Quran? How many verses in Birmingham manuscripts? Folios, sorry, they are not manuscripts.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. If you open the Birmingham folio, you will see the verses are not numbered. It was written in a paragraphatic form.
Yeah,
so by this definition
of 10.
Yeah, so by this definition, you have to look at the current Quran and see approximately where it is starting from to calculate the number of verses in the current Quran and say this is how many verses are there, because the verses are not even in the current in the Birmingham folio.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know which chapters are in Birmingham folios?
Some part of Surah Taha, some part of Surah Maryam.
So Surah 18, 17 to 31, Surah 19, 91 to Surah 20, verse 40. So Surah 9, beginning of Surah 19 is not there. Like lots of things are not there, right? Just like well-known stories are there. How many percent of the Quran that makes? That Mr. Muslim says 99% accuracy.
Less than 1%. Or maybe 1%.
Think about how stupid you need to, like, not stupid, how not curious about your own manuscripts while you are too busy to attack other people's manuscripts. How is that makes 99% accuracy? You've got scholars are expressing like back when the folio is kind of come to our attention, Efin Rezvan was expressing that there are just fragments, but there are lots of textual variations in them. And now we get to see what are those textual variations, and then we are asking the question, oh, some of those textual variations takes us back to Masud's Quran. And Mr. Muslim says there are only like half of, like little of all 3 chapters, and Mr. Muslim says 99% accuracy. Like, what dream you are having? Seriously, what dream you are having?
The dream of a child.
Just like disturbing. I find those things just simply disturbing when people kind of think it's all right to kind of take the platforms and then lie about it.
I just like how this is such a perfect preserved Quran where there are no dots and no diacritical marks.
Yeah.
When I was a Muslim, I don't know about you, but when I was a Muslim, and I've said that in many platforms before during my testimony as well. When I was a Muslim, an imam used to come to our homes and teaches us, because that's how my family was. They didn't wanted us to go to madrasa, because in madrasa kids were being disrespected. Let's just use the word. So they used to bring imams to come to our home and teaches us. And when we were reading the Quran, the imam used to tell us, these are the words of Allah. You have to recite it in the perfect pronunciation with the perfect words of the Quran. When they have diacritical mark, you have to like pronounce some word longer and some word slower. That's how it is. For example, like if I take the very basic example, Alif Lam Mim, you can't say Alif Lam Mim. You have to pronounce it the way the diacritical marks are being presented. And if we say something wrong and we do not prolong a certain word, we are being asked to recite it again and again and again and again and again until we perfected our pronunciation of those words. When there is a ayah which ends, there are different segments where you actually have to not pronounce the shadda or the kasra. Why? Because the verse has ended. And for example, Surah Asr, wal Asr, innal insana lafi khusr, not khusri, wal Asr, innal insana lafi khusr, illa allazina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bit sabr. So on and so forth. There are so many locations. I still remember from my early age, because there are certain locations where I had a problem, and those problems took me some time to get out of those problems. So it took me some time. So I remember that I had to take time to memorize that. Then if you're reciting certain paragraph and you pause at a time where your breath has ended and you paused at a certain time, at certain times you have to go back to the last verse and reread it, because you paused in a time when you shouldn't have paused. For example, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdinas siratal mustaqim, and somehow my breath ended. Now I cannot start from Siratal Lazina An'amta Alayhim. No, I have to re-repeat Ihdinas siratal mustaqim Siratal Lazina. Why? Because it's a joining word. So there are so many rules, so many rules. And the first time I saw the earliest manuscripts, the 6 early manuscripts,
So-called
you know,
earliest. So-called earliest.
I started crying. I started crying. And you know why I started crying? Because it reminded me of my struggle to recite the Quran perfectly in my early childhood. It reminded me of all those times. When I looked at the Quran, which Hatun is now showing the first time. And by the way, she made me cry. It was her. I saw her video, I mean Hatun's video, when she brought up these Quranic manuscripts and Quranic Musafs in her hand. That caused me, or that led me to do some research. And I saw that. By the way, sister, you made me cry. I remember that.
Um,
And
I don't take the blame for it, but if you are emotional man, it's up to you, brother. Go ahead.
yeah, I seldomly cry. And yes, at this time, I was very emotional. And you are the one who made me cry because it was devastating for me. It was devastating for me. All our lives, we have been told Quran is perfectly preserved, not even a dot, not even a diacritical mark has been changed. Each and every word is the perfect speech of Allah, and you have to perfectly speak it the way it is written. If you, man, I was so sad.
I remember seeing clips where how kids cannot if they're not pronouncing something the way how long it's supposed to be or how high it's supposed to be, they would get beaten, right? So those things are today very, very important. Were those things important in first centuries of Islam? Allah knows, nothing knows best. So I've got on the screen one of the so-called completed manuscripts. Brother Phil says I can't read the script. So this is almost 200 years after Muhammad. Okay, almost 200 years after Muhammad. Still, Arabic is not fully formed. And Adam pointed out they didn't have the verses, all those kind of things, right? So can you see this sign here? So those are the like symbols like people are putting, okay, if you wanna, this is the stop in 5 verse, stop in 10 verse, those kind of symbols they had. But for someone to figure out which verse is this, what do they need to do?
Go to the current Quran.
Go to the current Quran, okay? And then figure out from the current Quran and then guess what it is. That's like how awesome it is. So there is no problem that like manuscripts has history, right? Time goes on, alphabet changes, alphabet edited, all those kind of things. Like,
And-
of course, Allah is awesome with all of his wisdom. He sends his last and perfect revelation with the language that is not fully formed. But the problem is, one of the things like we need to get attention is, Quran has always been under the control, right? Abu Bakr put it together. It was in the control, in the hands of Muslims in its full form. Uthman did something very, very similar. It was under the hands and controls of Muslims. And then from onwards, it was always in the hands of Muslims. They copied it and then they multiplied it. So there is no reason or excuse for us to say, oh, well, we don't know why it is not survived. We don't have the complete Quran. Like there is no excuse to say that. So that is one of the concerns we have. And then of course all the lies comes with all the lies that comes with it.
Can you please bring up the Quran that you were showing already?
The
The last picture.
399.
Because
That was 399. Just
Yeah.
a second.
because that has been edited in with the red ink, where they
Yeah.
are making razam as well. So they are adding to the
Why are you
razam
jealous?
as well.
Why are you jealous? So yeah, Constantine letters needed attention.
So in the second line, the second last word, they added a meme with a ha. The second line from the top, the second line from the top, the second last word, because we are reading from, yes. So you see meme, ha, meme. So they actually added the meme on top of the ha. Why? Why do you have to do that? Like you need to be, you need to understand there are certain locations where they added additional words, letters. Meme is a letter. It's not a dot. Why would somebody do such a thing?
So Islamic tradition talks about how Muslims were very intentional to make the Quran exactly the same. So they would pay people to do so, or they would get rid of the ones who disagree. So there was intentional work that we want every manuscripts to be the same, because they are very confident in their perfect preservation, right?
Yeah, because like when you say dots and everything, we have a lot of issues with the dots. Yes, like so many. But here it's not even a dot. Like that's a meme, that's a character, that's a letter.
Yeah, so you are pointing out vowels versus consonantal letters. Yeah, so they
Yeah.
are adding dots to the consonantal letters to make sense of things.
But like who told them where the dots should go? Oral tradition after
Today's
400 years?
today's Quran told them, brother.
Today's Quran told them. Okay.
Is the example. This is the example of Topkapı. We already
I
moved.
love Topkapi. I love Turkapi. I love Turkapi. That is one of my favorite copy.
Favorite copy. So
Yeah.
see where my mouse is.
Yeah.
There are no dots, right? Practically
Absolutely.
difficult to read it, right? So experts, of course, looks at it, and then they pick up the things, and then they just like, yeah. So this is all these dots. Actually, they cannot read it. Okay,
Can you please zoom in more, please?
zoom in more. Better.
Absolutely better.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
dot means they have no idea what's written there.
They have no idea, but they are taking today's Quran and then they are telling us this is what it's supposed to be. But they don't know what it was there. This is what it's supposed to be. And this is their original.
Okay, the first words. The first word I know from the current recitation is bizalimin. Now, can you read that in this way only? Can you read that? Why do you have to connect ba with the zaw? First word, top line.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why?
Because that's what current Quran is. So you are pointing out there are because they are not dots. When you add the dots, that verse can be many different things.
Exactly. It can be, and then not even dots. The shadda. If I do not put the crown, which is on top of Allah, that crown, in top of the zaw, on the first word of the first line, you will not be able to pronounce it the way the Muslims pronounce it now. That crown is not even there. So when the pronunciation gets different, the meanings get different as well. That's very common. So right now, you have something, but and those, so for example, in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line, right after 92, Kul min kana aduwwal lil Jibrail fa inna nazzalahu ala. Now, why can I read it like this? Because I am putting a pesh on the kaf, a zair on the meme, and a shadda on a noon. Kana, there is a dash on top of the noon, which is zabar. Aduwul with a pesh, il Jibrail have a al has a shadda to connect it with that. So I don't know in English what they called. So when I'm saying kul min kana aduwwul lil Jibrail, I'm actually in my mind knowing the current Quran, and I am pronouncing these words where it should be.
Yeah, according to current Quran.
Current Quran. But if I do not have the current Quran, why do I have to read it like that? I can read it in so many ways.
Yeah.
So many ways. And it
Like
will change the meaning. It will make past tense, future tense. It will change the tense. It will change the direction. It will change female to a male, male to a female, and so on and so forth.
Camel could be meat. You've got lots of options, but they are following with the current Quran they have in their hands, and then they are forcing that view to the earliest manuscripts. And if, of course, it's not my area of expertise. If this is how they move forward with their things, that's absolutely fine. But when you stand up and then say like, well, dot is not changed, we just like, yeah, there are no dots, so therefore, yeah, it's never changed stuff.
I so wish one day I could stand in front of my Qari who taught me and literally slap these things on his face. Like literally. I so want to slap these things on his face and say, were you made a fool as well like me? Or did you made us a fool? I so want to one day do that. I
Let me-
wish I could.
Let me show you something. Share. I don't know if it's gonna work. It works when you do presentation stuff, but where is the place?
This guy is shouting.
We have parchments of the Quran exactly the same as the Quran we read today in our hands.
Yes.
There is no question about the Quran. These are parchments. This is tip of the iceberg. From the 7th century.
Yes.
And if he can point out one difference from this manuscript with our Quran which we read today, I said that I will become a Christian.
Revelation, Revelation 21:4, 21:4. Liars burn in hell, liars burn in hell. Ding dong bell, ding dong bell.
So these are the claims they are making about their manuscripts, right? Impression is given. There is no any mistake. There is no any differences in the manuscripts. And then he's claiming this is 7th century manuscripts. He's talking about Husseini manuscripts. And then turns up actually late 8th century, beginning of 9th century manuscripts. But those are the claims Muslims are making. So therefore, it becomes important, right? Because as I said, it was always been controlled by Muslims, in the hands of Muslims. But it is, as Altıkulaç says, like, it's just amazing. We don't know what happened to those complete manuscript stuff. Anyway, so I just wanted to remind people that as well, like claims they make about their manuscript.
By the way, it's 21:8, FYI, guys, not 21:4, it's 21:8. And by the way, I need to show you now something as well, because this is Adnan Rashid, who is saying that these older manuscripts are perfectly preserved. But then this same Adnan Rashid goes in a discussion on stage with David Wood. Then he says something else. Let me bring it up. Like, we need to see how they change their opinion when we put up the evidence. So let me just play that now.
There are reports within Islamic literature, listen to me carefully now, within the Islamic literature, which state that Quran had 17,000 verses. The present Quran has got 6,000 verses. But this report is stating, multiply attested from many sources with a chain. More than 37 chains, ladies and gentlemen. How many chains do you think this report has? 10? 5? 20, 30, 50, 100, 500? Guess. For this particular report, within Islamic literature, where Quran is interpreted, Quran has 17,000 verses, Quran has 20,000 verses, Quran has been tampered with by the Sahaba. 2,000 reports, ladies and gentlemen.
Subhanallah, 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 Subhanallah. So they changed their views, sister?
What is the date for that one?
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, so
I need to check it out.
this is from Speaker's Corner. Maybe like just before 2013 or something, or 2014. So yeah, they just lie. They just lie.
That's the thing. They just lie. Like they just blatantly lie.
Yeah.
These people know. that it has been tampered with. These people know that it has been changed. These people know that early Quran has no dots. These people know that the early Quran has no diacritical marks. They just simply kept on lying and lying and lying and lying. Even now, they lie.
Yeah.
When they're with some Christian apologist, they agree to certain things and then they lie. You are cold.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. It's not only when they are with Christian apologists, like remember what Yasir Qadhi was saying when he was talking about different Arabic Qurans, right? I know Muslims want to use the different qira'ats, all those kind of things, but no, they are Qurans. Why they are Qurans? Why? Ask Allah about it. So Yasir Qadhi was saying, like, we say something in front of educated person and then we say something else in front of lay person, right? Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Anyway, so on the topic of, we forgot, we are reviewing this Soko Films clip.
What happened to Soko Film lady? I haven't seen her for some time.
I don't
Is she
know.
okay?
I don't know. Not my
Oh.
business. So we are reviewing this in the intention of critiquing and education purposes. So question is being asked about the manuscripts. Why there is these textual variations in Surah 20 verse 31 in Birmingham folios, that is, he talks about 10 qira'ats, but then there is something problematic there as well, right? You've got 7 qira'at, you've got 10 qira'at, you've got 14 qira'at. So it goes with the middle one. So why that difference is not in any of these 10 different Qurans? And of course, Mr. Muslim kind of uses the biblical approach that is being used for biblical manuscripts, and then try to save the face here.
Absolutely. So you can go to 13 minutes mark. You will enjoy something.
13 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to get to the parts where he was lying about the 2 witnesses. And then he doesn't even know this first Quran, this is second Quran, all those. Okay, I'll start like a little bit earlier.
Yeah. We have no epistemic justification to conclude that it goes back to the Prophet.
Okay.
We're only epistemically justified in concluding that a reading goes back to the Prophet if it is massly transmitted.
Okay.
That's why we have the 10 canonical readings based on the 7 modes or the 7 ahruf.
Okay.
Based on the 7.
So there is no way you can take the Quran back to Muhammad except for the statements of the people.
Assumptions and assumptions.
Like you can play it again, like let the people listen. Yeah, make it like 10-15 seconds before 13 minutes. This is like he's admitting there is no Quran that dates back to Muhammad. Zero, nada.
To go back to the Mas'ud.
Yeah.
Okay? Good to see you. Good to see you. It's a pleasure. Right? If any reading goes back to a companion, and this reading is not mutawatir, we have no epistemic justification to conclude that it goes back to the Prophet.
Okay.
We're only epistemically justified in concluding that a reading goes back to the Prophet if it is massly transmitted.
Okay.
That's why we have the 10 canonical readings based on the 7 modes or the 7 ahruf.
Okay, so now I'll bring one important point. They have zero, nada, 7 canonical reading. Zero. They have zero evidence of 10 qira'ats. Zero, nada, none. So where is the mass transmitted? And I challenge you, Mr. Libiano, come up or send me an email at xmuslimadamseeker@gmail.com. Bring me to your own channel and have a timed discussion on this point. Show me 7 canonical reading, ahruf reading, or 10. Because you actually have none. You are just based on assumptions after assumptions, and that's why in a later stage when Mr. Tim pressed you on this subject, You were over speaking and didn't let him finish his statement. Yes, sister.
I want to bring something to people's attention. Remove this screen, and bring this screen.
Mashallah, something else is coming up.
No, just like it's not my area of expertise. I just like the topic. I like the topic. And the topic caused lots of people to walk out of Islam. Therefore, I like it. Okay.
Somebody is saying something before you go to your folio.
What is it saying?
Adam and Hatun, come back to Islam.
For what?
You know, this was the main thing that I left Islam. Like, I first left Hadith, and then I went into pick and choose Hadiths. And then, but when I realized that the Quran is absolute garbage, just like Libiano said, why are you talking about garbage?
Brother, use the synonyms as well. Garbage, trash, and others.
Garbage, trash, and etc. According to Libiano, this garbage, trash, and etc. made me leave Islam. You want to bring me back to Islam? Come up, have a talk, and prove it that the Quran has somehow reserved, and then we can have a discussion. Sister Hatun, what was the role of the Quran not being preserved in your life when you first saw it? Like, what kind of a shock you first felt when you first saw it? Like, what shock was there?
I don't remember.
Really?
I don't remember. I remember Jay was debating Shabir Ali. It was like my earliest day at Speaker's Corner. All I was doing is like answering Muslim objections. And every week are the same questions. And then Jay left to go and debate with Shabir Ali. And then
Which debate? Which debate? The classical debate between Jay Smith and Shabir Ali about the perfect preservation of Quran and Sunnah manuscript. Is that one?
Yeah, where he brought
that one.
Where he brought manuscripts. When I saw that, we watched it, and then we had to go to Speaker's Corner to kind of make case for Jay's arguments, because Muslims are coming to Speaker's Corner and then gonna challenge everything stuff. I noticed he didn't know how to answer. And then I'm just like, huh? What happened to like perfectly preserved thing, you know? Like it was like different. And then Muslims didn't know how to answer. That was the moment, like, I'm just like, oh, Muslims are very good at polemics, but they don't know how to do apologetics. And then,
No, sister, sorry. You are so wrong. What Shabir Ali was doing, he was doing 19 ones are 19, 19 twos are 38, 19 threes are 57, 19 fours are 76, 19 fives are 95. That's what he was doing in that debate and refutation. And after he spoke for 40 minutes of his refutation, Jay came up back on the stage. I know that. Why? Because that was my turning point. That debate was my turning point. Shabir Ali came back on stage. Jay Smith came back on stage, and he just said one single line. And then he paused. You know what line was it? It was, you are talking about the table of 19, for which Quran? Full stop. And then there was a pause.
I don't remember that one. I remember that in the debate took place in London between what was the Jonathan McClatchy and Shabir Ali. He was again talking about this number 19 miracle, and then he just like, okay, which Quran you are talking about? And then he said 1924. And then I don't remember if it was like in the debate took place when Jay left Speaker's Corner, but the one Shabir came to London. In that, I was like, huh? And then I remember, what was that Muslim gentleman's Nazam, Muslim guy who is like kind of doing PA thing for Shabir Ali, was like, oh no, what Shabir said is just bad. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, number 19 miracle is from 1924 Quran, because other manuscripts do not provide all that thing. yeah. Anyway,
Isn't that so strange that all of these 19 miracle are coming up in 1924 Quran?
from that you can point out to people, well, chapter 19 verse 19, right? That
May-
is the biggest miracle.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah.
That's speakers corner when they were like talking about the number 9. I even did teaching on numerical miracles. Okay, so let me just remind what was that guy's name? Orthodox Muslim. Let's just remember again what he said, because we are trying to review that, but Adam is just like, okay, so anyway, the gentleman who is like ordering us to come back to Islam, that's not even invitation. I just want to use my human rights and deny it. I don't know about the Adam. Do you want to?
I already answered him. Yeah, I already answered him with a perfect denialation.
Okay.
But you were showing something on the presentation based on these harufs and 10 kiraz.
Okay, let's just remind, because you are just doing lots of sidetrack, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It looks
I'm
like you've got nobody to talk. You come to this live stream and then you just tell me about all of your past, have perfect preservation of the Quran, help you to get out of Islam. You think
I'm
it's
gonna shut
my
up.
business?
I'm gonna zip it.
Okay, let's listen this again, and then I'll show you something regarding this.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, mother. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. It's a pleasure. Right? If any reading goes back to a companion, and this reading is not mutawatir, we have no epistemic justification to conclude that it goes back to the Prophet.
Okay.
We're only epistemically justified in concluding that a reading goes back to the Prophet if it is massively transmitted.
Okay.
That's why we have the 10 canonical readings based on the 7 modes or the 7 ahruf.
Okay, so there is comment on the Aruf and Qiraat. We will talk about that, but I just wanted to point out something. So he's saying these 10 different Qurans. It was first 7, and then time went on. Couple of centuries later, it became 10, and then a couple of centuries later, it became 14. Anyway, so he's talking about these 10 ones, and then he says they are going back to Muhammad, right? And they've been transmitted to us by multiple people, and these multiple people are taking it back to Muhammad. Did I get that right, Adam? Remember, I am half-brain woman.
In a way, because he said he doesn't believe if anything goes back to Muhammad. We just go for the matawatir. So if there are so many people attributing it to go back to Muhammad, we will believe it.
Yeah.
But there's none who go back to Muhammad, we accept it. None of them goes back to Muhammad. That's what he said, how he said.
So here's this Muslim friend, the scholar. I think we can, instead of say with this, we can instead say with a certainty that we have precisely, whatever, how do you pronounce this word?
Crisis.
No, not crisis.
I can't even read it. It's too short for me.
I'm making it bigger. I can't pronounce the word. Anyway.
I think we can instead say with certainty that we have precisely no qira'ah, which was exactly how Muhammad said it.
Read it again for everyone.
I think we can instead say with certainty that we have precisely no qira'ah, which was exactly how Muhammad said it. Subhanallah.
So how many qira'ah exactly what Muhammad said?
0.
Are you sure?
That's what he's saying.
Okay.
Precisely
0.
with certainty.
Yeah. 0. We don't know what Muhammad said. We don't know what Muhammad said.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah.
But
there is somebody in the backstage who will going to change his icon as soon as you bring him in. So FYI.
Okay. Let me just read this part again. This is, by the way, I wanted to point out, okay, this is response to Adnan Rashid. He's replying to Adnan Rashid. if one says that any two Musafs are word by word identical, that is clearly incorrect. Even between the two most popular transmission today, between Hafs and Warsh, we have different words in certain places in the Quran. He's responding to Adnan Rashid, so he's correcting Adnan Rashid. There are many scripts with canonical readings. Warsh and Abu Amir are most common canonical ones. Occasionally, one finds Shuba and Asim, but as of yet, I have never seen a manuscript that contains Hafs. Hafs was not popular at all. He was a liar. He was a what is the term?
Oh my gosh, this is problematic. So Shuba also took it from Asim, and Hafs also took it from Asim, but Shuba's Quran is different and Hafs' Quran is different.
Yeah, welcome to the world, brother. Welcome to the world. This is
World of Islam.
Yeah, and I've got the part so much slides there. I've got the part where he says actually Hafs is not mutawatir. Let me find that part. So because Muslims is making a point that Muslim is making a point that all these are mutawatir, like transmitted by lots of people, and then it takes us back to Muhammad. Let me find the, okay, this is the part.
Did you just say Momo?
Brother, I corrected myself on that. So here's the part. Here's the part.
I can only remember that there is some love going on.
So here's the part. No, Hafs is not mutawatir. None of the 10 are completely mutawatir. That is like friendly, Muslim friendly Quranic manuscripts expert is telling us. Hafs is not mutawatir. So when Muslim says, well, we don't have the evidence, but we can figure out because all that mutawatir things that we can trust those things. Experts are telling us, no, we don't know what Muhammad said. And the Quran that Muslims are reading mostly around the world is not even mutawatir at all. Do you see the problem there? Muslims are being lied, and they are simply today lying to us. And then let me show you something.
Subhan al-Masih, Subhan al-Masih, Subhan al-Masih.
This is just for people to get the idea, okay? Mutawata, yeah, mutawata. This is all about mutawata. So this is names.
Oh wow.
Names Muslims put in the copy of the Quran, okay? And then says these are going to this guy, these are going to this guy, these are going to taking us this guy, and then finally all of them are meeting in Muhammad, okay, or early companions. So you've got lots of names in here, right? This is for the Asim. So here's the breakdown of it. Let me make it. So Muslims are telling us this. So Hafs Quran that is being recited by lots of people is coming from Asim. We don't have Asim's thing, but Hafs is Asim's students. So they are telling us, look at this one, okay? Asim took this from this guy and then from this guy, only from two people. And then he put together. This guy, okay, Abu Abdurrahman al-Sulami took from Zayd bin Thabit, Ubay bin Ka'b, Uthman, and Ali. There are four.
No kidding.
Just a second.
They have different Qurans.
Yeah, there are. Ali's Quran was different. Ubay bin Ka'b's Quran was different, and Zayd's Quran is different, right? 114 surah.
Yeah.
Ubay's Quran
He's
is
the one who picked and choose which one goes into his Quran, right?
yeah. So look at this one. And then on this side, this guy, Hubaisha guy, took it. I know this is like kind of boring. Probably you just like, oh, we don't need it, but I just want to point out something. In here, this Zur Hubashi, whatever that guy is, takes from Ibn Masud. Ibn Masud's Quran is different from this guy's Quran, while this guy's Qurans are different from one another Quran. And then they're all claiming this comes to us from the Prophet. You see the problem? Doesn't matter. So here's another thing. When you go and then grab these Quranic manuscripts, you pay a lot of money. Okay? None of the early manuscripts gives you something like this, saying, oh, I took this from this, I took this from this, I took this from this. None of the Quranic manuscripts are saying this to you. Muslims edited those names, and then when you dig into those names, you just like amazed. How can one person decides to take all these different Qurans? Like, for example, Abu Abdurrahman al-Sulama, did he recited Surah 1? I guess yes, because he took from Ubay bin Ka'b, right? And then this guy didn't have the Surah 1. How come Asim put Surah 1 in here? How did he make the judgment Surah 1 is supposed to be part of the Quran or not? Or Surah 115, 116 is not going to be part of the Quran? Ubay bin Ka'b's Quran, right? How does these people make those judgments? They never met Gabriel. They never met Muhammad. Muhammad is long dead, being hammered by angels in the grave while Asim is putting the Quran together. Mass transmission. How many mass transmission in here? Two gentlemen who disagrees with one another. And then one person steps in and then says, well, I've got the perfect judgment skill. I'm going to put this together. No. They've been lied to, and they are intentionally lying to the world. I just wanted to point that out to the people. Sorry. I know it's boring topic stuff, but like just lies, too much lies.
You know, you might not like what I'm going to say now, but think about it and then tell me.
Okay, I'm going to think about it.
When I say it, think about it and then tell me if I am thinking on the right parameter. I'm going to think it out loud. 4 canonical gospels are written, right? These 4 canonical gospels that are being written, you would see there are certain accounts which are not mentioned in one gospel, but it's mentioned on another gospel. Because 4 people are writing those gospel from an eyewitness account, whether he himself eyewitnessed or he took the information from the eyewitness. With that being said, think about it in the same manner. Instead of keeping all these Qurans, because let's suppose Ubay bin Ka'b was with Muhammad and Muhammad said those additional 2 surahs and Ubay bin Ka'b heard it. Nobody else heard it because Muhammad said it to him, supposedly. Now, because Ubay bin Ka'b only has it, they say we are not going to keep it. Who made it a judgment call not to keep it? Asim. What made Asim decision? So we have 4 gospel. We have all 4 of them there. You can just go read all 4 of them and see what is happening. When they actually raise a finger on the Bible, it's silly for them to raise a finger on the Bible because we have all 4 of them in there. We don't say, oh, we are going to choose Gospel of Mark over Gospel of Matthew or vice versa. They're all there. Because in the end of this debate, he's going to talk about Trinity because he's stupid like his own Allah. He says there are 3 gods. But that's a stupidity. That's an argument of stupidity. There should be something like that as well. But you see what I'm saying, sister? Yeah. Maybe you can correct me if I'm thinking on the wrong terminology.
Yeah. So so you've got four gospels that are in the Bible we are reading, and then of course we've got the writings that is put together in second century onwards that people kind of put the, oh, this is the Thomases, but while Thomas is already dead, or other things. So you kind of figure out, okay, how can someone who is dead for like a couple of decades already can write and circulate things? Oh, informations are being mentioned in these writings are supported by the information that has been publicly shared stuff, and then you kind of make the judgment. So versus in Islam, one man who never met with Muhammad, who never met Ubay bin Ka'b, Uthman, Zayd bin Thabit, Ali, he haven't met with them, right? Because think about it, when did Ali die? 661, right? When was Asim born? 675. Ali is already dead. Uthman died, murdered, 656. He died almost 10 years, he was born almost 10 years after Uthman. Zayd bin Thabit, he was born almost 15 years after Zayd bin Thabit, right? So he never even met with those people. So middle person comes and then says, oh, here's what we have. And then he makes the judgment that while those surahs are different from one another, chapter numbers are different, verses are different, he makes the judgment and then he chooses, pick and chooses what he wants. So when Muslim takes the mic and then says, well, they're all mutawatir, therefore it is canonized, all those kind of things, they're lying. Okay? And they know they are lying. It's not this gentleman doesn't know. He knows he's lying because the way he's using his words, right? Therefore, we are assuming this is. Because I know the background. So he's intentionally lying and lying and lying more. Okay, Adam has something in the backstage he's going to share with us, but he muted himself. I don't know if he's sharing.
Yes, no, I'm giving you time to speak because, you know, ladies first.
Nice.
So what I have in the backstage is very important. There is a mufti in UK and he's going to explain about the mutawatir. And then there are two so-called experts of the Quran. They are trying to negate what the mufti is saying. That's the beautiful part in this video. So let me bring it up.
The hadith, it falls under consensus of the scholars that this hadith is mass transmitted. Then those hadiths are beyond questionable, like the qira'at of the Quran. The qira'at of the Quran, which are mutawatir, are 10 qira'at.
Do you believe the Mahdi?
Do you believe in the mutawatir?
Right. Do you believe the
qira'at of mutawatir?
Okay, listen. Can I
Do you believe the qira'at of mutawatir?
I'll
ask you first.
About mutawatir.
Do you believe the qira'at of mutawatir?
Okay.
Watch how he dodges this.
Right. Okay. First of all,
anyone who's unable to understand the technical aspect, he's dodging the technical questions.
I'm not, because the Quran was never established in the same way Hadith was established.
The qira'at from men.
Right, but the Quran was never established.
The qira'at were from men,
transmitted by men.
Transmitted. Exactly.
But it was never documented it was never used the same.
But do you believe in the 10 qira'at as mutawatir? Yes or no?
This is a
why
technical
are you
term.
avoiding? No.
Because what is the point of this question?
Because then it shows your method.
Okay.
Epistemology is totally
because
flawed.
People probably don't understand this, right?
Basically, Mufti has a flawed methodology in understanding Islam.
Ouch.
This
okay,
is why
wow, that kind of really escalated.
This is why he's
it went from mutawatir to Islam.
This is what, of course, this is.
So Mufti has a flawed understanding because Mufti is saying that the Quran was never established as a mutawatir as the hadith is mutawatir as established, and there is no Quran that you can point out and say this Quranic Musaf's qira'ah is mutawatir. I'm not saying that. It's all here, right?
Yeah. So Muslims are saying this, as well as I pointed out, Quranic manuscripts experts are saying this. Yet Muslim missionary takes the platform and then claims something else.
And they say Mufti You did a degree from Al-Hadar University of 6 years. Before that, you did a master's. Your understanding is flawed. It's so beautiful, sister. Now, there was a time when people say, I'm not a mufti. I'm not a mufti. I cannot debate on this subject. Today, they are saying, hey, mufti, your understanding is flawed because it does not go according to the narrative that has been taught to us all our lives. So you do not know jack about it. I'm telling you, Quran is mutawatir. Like, isn't that beautiful now?
Well, beautiful in a sense, messed up.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got the point, right? It's all messed up. So it is not mutawatir at all. But yeah, you assume so that it is beneficial for you in your arguments, and you speak to Muslim audience, and no one is gonna check them out. As I pointed out, like, you look at the earliest manuscripts. Why those bunch of names are not in earliest manuscripts? Why did they edit that after they decided for the hadith? Good questions. Hopefully someone will answer them.
Nobody will answer that. That's point number one. And sister, by the way, your presentation, how can I steal it?
No, you don't need to steal it. It's all public. I can let me know what you need, and then I'll just
No, I need the whole presentation.
yeah, just email me.
Absolutely.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. Okay. I've got someone in the backstage. Let me take the person in. Hopefully he can make good case regarding the perfect preservation of the Quran. Adam, where is the, okay,
Yes,
this is the one. Okay, this is the one, sorry. Layout. I was asking where the layout is. So, Adam, can you adjust the layout? Maybe?
Yes, I can do solo. Now you can bring him up first and then see if he's a real guy or a picture.
Hello.
My friend, you can start speaking. You will not be shown unless we realize that you are a real person and not a picture. Can you please speak?
Hello, sir. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, sir.
We can't hear you, sir. We can see you are like kind of moving your hands and then trying to say things, but we can't hear you. So you can call in again once you fix the issue. Okay, Adam, focus, brother, focus.
Focusing.
Okay, that was the lie. One of the lies. Okay, let's try again. Is the same background is normal?
Yeah.
Stage is normal. Yes, we can.
Maybe you can hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay.
Started. Hello, sir. Who are you?
I'm sorry about that. My name is Ben Thorpe. And I had a question for you. I'm not trying to defend the Quran. So if
Are you Muslim, sir?
I'm not Muslim, but I'm curious about, from a Christian perspective, why it is that it's so important that the Quran be seen as either perfect or like that it's a lie. Why can't there be a middle ground? I'm just curious as a non-Muslim why you couldn't say, okay, there's some mistakes, but or whatever. Like Mormons have changed the Book of Mormon, and that's not that big of a deal for them. But it seems like Muslims, I understand there's a kind of a theory that God wrote the Quran or directly and that every word is perfect, but I don't know why Muslims can't say I don't believe that, because it's not actually in the Quran that that's true.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Adam, do you want to respond first, or do you want me to respond, brother?
I already responded. I think our friend over here came in new. We can show his face. He's not that kind of a guy. So let me just.
Yeah, no,
different.
We don't know.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I know
he won't show his genitals over here, I think.
Genitals.
Genitalias.
So, few things. In the Quran, Allah makes a promise. Surah 15, verse 9. Allah is going to preserve the book.
Mm-hmm.
Point number one. Point number two. One of the evangelists or dawah Muslims are doing is, see, your Bible is corrupted. Here's the textual variations here.
Yeah, that's what I've heard a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
there is some truth to that. I would say there's some truth to
yeah,
that, but it
there are
doesn't make
textual
me an atheist.
there are textual variations in the Bible.
Sure.
In the manuscripts, we've got like
Even scientific mistakes.
I'm not sure if I would
When we
sign up for
can
the
go into that later. Let her
scientific
answer your first question,
Sure,
then
yeah,
we can ask
yeah,
the second question.
absolutely.
We can
Let
go
me
there.
respond. Yeah, so
Sure.
Quran Bible has been changed, corrupted. Therefore, Quran came. And Quran has been perfectly preserved. I don't know
Yeah.
if you were earlier in here where we shared a clip of Muslim missionary Adnan Rashid, where he's telling people he will give up Islam if you show him there is textual variations in the Quranic manuscripts.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I get that. There is that
if
theory.
if there is differences, then Allah failed to keep his promises. Human beings stepped in and interfered with the very word of Allah.
Right.
And another point is they have to explain. They have to step back and then say, yeah, we told the world that Quran has been perfectly preserved dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, word by word, but that's a lie. We've been lying because early Muslims didn't hold that view. It is 21st century Muslims onwards. Another theological point is, so Islamic tradition talks about that Muslims, okay, Muhammad says, read the Quran, for it will come as an intercessor for its reciters on the day of judgment. So the Quran you are reciting is going to appear on the day of judgment, and it's like a certain tradition talks about it's going to appear as a pale man. It's going to intercede for those who recite. Today there are many different Qurans. Like I know individuals who's got like over 30 different Qurans in their possession. So and the question is, which recitation is going to intercede for Muslims? Because not every recitation can be the word of Allah, right? Because there are differences in a way they contradict one another. So Allah cannot say, if you have the view of God's supposed to be perfect, I cannot say in one version this like they did, in other version they didn't.
Sure, yeah.
So they are contradictory phrases. So which Quran is going to intercede for Muslims on the day of judgment? So that is these theological things. From my perspective as a Christian, I do concern for Muslims' eternity, and even though I know Islam takes them to hell, I want them to make sure they are in the right recitation, because they need intercessor on the day of judgment. And if they are in the wrong one, everything is wrong anyway, but it's gonna be very, very bad for them, because like Hadith talks about, it's going to argue with Allah for those who recited it. So there's like proper business argument happening over there. So those are a couple of points. I don't know, Adam, if you want to add anything.
Yeah, if you listen to our conversation earlier, I've expressed this, that we have been lied to all our lives. Our parents have been lied to all our life. Our grandparents and grandparents before have been lied to. That Quran is perfectly preserved. That's a lie. With a single dot has not been changed. A single diacritical mark has not been changed. It's the perfect speech of Allah. There is a verse in Quran in chapter number 15, verse number 9. It says, Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafizun. It says, indeed, we have sent down this message, and we have sent down the message, az-zikra, and we are its protector. The problem is that this is talking about the dhikr of Allah. So by definition, every single dhikr of Allah has been perfectly preserved, which is Torah, Zabur, and Injil as well. But then the Muslim comes in and they changes this verse in the interpretation and say that this is only talking about the Quran. So now Quran has a challenge in itself, that indeed Allah has revealed this Quran supposedly, and Allah is its protector. So if God is the protector of some book, how can that book be changed for 1400 years, multiple times, multiple variations? So this is where they are in a dilemma, where they cannot actually change it. They cannot actually accept that it has been changed. They cannot actually accept that that the people have altered it. That's the main reason for that.
Well, if I can just ask, like, so I'm Catholic. So we have a different system of authority, right? So we would say we have what we call the magisterium, the Pope. Okay, so if the Pope says something about the book, now we're stuck with that, if you want to say it that way. Okay, you can't, because the Pope has the same authority as the book. As I understand it, Islam
That
does
is
not.
just wrong. That is just wrong.
I understand. I'm just saying it's just to show you an example, like just to compare. I'm interested in the Islam part, but if you don't have this authority, why is it that you can't just say? So I think maybe you're a Protestant, because
So,
Protestants can have different views
you've
about the
got,
Bible.
so you've got
But Islam, it seems like you can only have one view, but I don't know why, because you don't have a pope.
so you've got fatwas put together by muftis that expresses if you doubt even a letter of
Mhm.
the Quran, you are a disbeliever.
But
You are
what
an
authority
apostate.
do they have?
Authority. So basically, in Islam, there is not a single set of authority.
Right.
There are muftis, and then there are sects of Islam. All right. Different sects of Islam believes in different sets of authority as
Yeah.
a ruler. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are a Barelvi, let's assume, which is one of the subsect of Hanafi Islam, you will not actually accept the authority of Ahle Hadith. So
Right.
Ahle Hadith muftis can say something different than the Barelvi muftis, and they are going to be going into different direction. The problem is not this. The problem goes back to the origin. And the origin is that this book wasn't even there, or if it was there in different ways. Let's just put it. And they have
Mhm.
different words, and they have different letters, and they have different everything.
Yeah, I
They have
think that's
different
true.
chapters.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point in time, they actually said, no, everything else is wrong. This one is right.
Right. Yeah. There was one
And once
text
they,
that
yeah.
a
And when they
cat
canonized this
yeah,
text,
canon. Yeah. Okay.
then they actually said, this text goes back to Muhammad, and they started this
Right.
propaganda.
Right.
That propaganda started when internet wasn't there, when all of these things weren't there. So it was spread slowly and gradually for decades. And when it
But
got spreaded, they had two different knowledge. Like it has been said that there is alumul khasa and alumul ama. Alumul khasa is for the elite people. Alum means knowledge. Knowledge for select few, alumul khasa. Knowledge for the normal people, alumul ama.
right.
So there is a knowledge for the select few, where these select few, like the muftis, have the knowledge that Quran has not been perfectly preserved. They
Mhm.
have the knowledge that we
But what
did that as a
authority
human.
did they have to say that it's by scholarship, right? That they're scholars?
Well,
Yes, scholars, the top scholars. Let's just put it this way, because Quran actually says, if you are in doubt, go to the people. No, not this verse. The other verse says, whenever you need the understanding, you go to the people of knowledge. Go to the people of knowledge. Okay,
Yeah.
that's how the verse starts. Sorry, sister, yes.
I want to point out something.
Hmm.
So when we look at the early stages of Islam in early centuries, it wasn't mainly, okay, this person studied this material, he knows very well, therefore he's making the choices or judgments. It was
Right.
about mainly what is your connection with the leadership.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It was all political, like, okay,
Yeah.
the person is close to the leader, and then they are kind of pushing his agenda,
Yeah.
very political. So like we don't get to see people are sitting down and then going through the crowds and then saying, okay, see, this is come to us by these people, those people are trustworthy, therefore let's make this judgment.
Mhm.
Or let's check what Muhammad said about it, let's make our judgment. No, it was mainly political motivations.
Yeah. So I see something similar in Christianity, because maybe you're Protestant, I'm Catholic. So for Catholics, it's similar to the connection, because we would say the apostles were given authority, they passed it on to bishops. So it isn't really about who's the most knowledgeable. Whereas Protestants, I think, would say, well, we study and we meditate on the scriptures, and that gives us the authority. But I just don't understand why Islam doesn't have, like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you disagree with me that the Pope and bishops have the authority as a Christian. And I would say that's not okay, but like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so
In Islam, there's no group that can say, okay, maybe what we really mean by the Quran is what Allah was trying to communicate, and maybe the
My friend,
scripts
that's
are
the
not
problem. I think
perfect, or there's an early, you know what I mean?
I
I
think
just
you
don't
were not
understand
listening.
because you don't
You
have the
because you were not listening
authority.
to us. You were not listening to us, I would say. You did not listen to us, the main important
Okay,
points.
but
You
you don't
have
know
to go
whether
back.
I listen to you or
No,
not,
no,
but
listen.
like
Oh, my
maybe
friend, don't listen, my friend. Hold on, please. Just for
you're
a second.
doing exactly what you're
Just hold
arguing that
on, sir.
your muftis are
Now you
doing.
are going into that. So listen very carefully. You have to go back to listen to what we said before. That is the main important point. You missed it because you were never a Muslim. You were never a Muslim, so you
I
missed.
understand
You
that.
are coming from a particular line of accepting a narrative. So when I'm
Yeah,
telling you a different narrative, I am switching you from one single train platform to another single platform, and which
I
means that when
understand.
I'm saying, okay, so when I'm saying something, you are not listening. That means that
No,
you are put. Can I please
you might
please,
not
my
be
friend?
listening.
okay,
Okay,
let's keep the
let me
conversation.
finish it. So when I
Yeah.
when I say you weren't listening means when I was saying certain things, you were still keeping in the same train which is going in a certain location in a certain way. So when I'm saying something, you are still trying to think of it on that direction.
No,
Rather,
and
I want.
I want
Oh
you to
my
correct
gosh.
me like where I'm wrong. I understand that I am not born and raised Muslim. I have never,
And that's
you
what
know,
I was telling you,
but
and you
what I'm
interrupted me
saying
four
is,
times.
but what I'm saying is, okay, but what I'm saying is, I don't
It,
see why
if
Muslims.
you're going to say the same question again and again and not listen, seriously speaking, you will not understand. I started to tell you
Okay,
again,
so all
and
right,
you
so
weren't listening.
maybe I could talk to Hatun. I don't really think
And
Uh,
like
and
she's
you
saying that
Hatun
I'm
will tell
not
you the same
listening
thing,
to
but you
her.
won't not listen. That you interrupt in the middle. You interrupted Hatun three times, and I
Okay,
asked you, sir,
okay,
can she finish?
okay,
it's your
okay,
channel.
okay, guys. Okay, okay, guys, brothers and sisters, and those of you who are watching, guys and girls. In case like someone says, "Oh yeah, I was sexist or something." So, um, in Muslim mind, preservation of the Quran is very, very important.
I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
So political power, who is caliph at that stage, makes the decisions, or who are close to the caliphs makes the decisions. So things are different now. When the moment Muslim says, okay, preservation of the Quran is not that important, or there is a problem in it, they've got
Yeah.
problem with the hadith where they need intercessor for their eternity. But from the practical side, I can like easily tell you more than 100 Muslims left Islam simply once they exposed that Quran is not being perfectly preserved.
I
They
get you. Yeah.
mistake, their imams, their father, their mother, the ones like whom they're supposed to look up to, lie to them. So in the beginning, if they start, oh yeah, when we look at the tradition, we get to see there are some dodgy things are happened. This is the book in our hands, officialized in 1924, first time, and then second time, and then third time in 1980s. Then this is the one I put my faith in it. And that's very different than, like, for example, we pointed out earlier, Shabir Ali says 1924 is the Quran, that he's got the number 19 miracle, therefore Quran is from Allah, all those kind of things. So his faith is based on 1924 Quran.
Sure,
So
sure. I
he
understand
looked
that. Yeah.
into it, he made that judgment. Versus other Muslims are being told dot by dot, perfectly preserved. And then like first part of that is therefore get out of Christianity because Bible is not perfectly preserved.
Right, right. Yeah. I understand the Muslim criticism of the Bible, and I think they use mostly Christian scholarship that does show,
Yeah,
but we're more okay with saying, okay, there are textual differences
quite
because
variations in it. And
our theology is not that God wrote the Bible word for word and preserved it perfectly. Some Christians might believe that, but we generally would say, okay, yeah, there are manuscripts and maybe the scribe made a slight error, but God preserved what he wanted to say, and the problems are small.
So scripture identifies itself as being very word of God, written down by human hands,
Right.
who are inspired by the Spirit of God.
Right.
So,
But they themselves are, it's not like an angel dictating.
yeah, so like there is
So
no
they're-
one, there is no one who is forcing to make
Right.
a deal. So,
Right. But
that-
why
that's
couldn't
different than Quran?
why couldn't there be Muslims? Because when you say 1924, okay, that is a person in 1924 saying this.
A school, yeah, school
Okay,
decided.
but if as a Catholic, if the Pope says something in 1924 as the highest authority, okay, for Catholics that's very important. But in Islam, this person there is not the Pope. It's not similar, right? You don't have someone who is saying,
I guess you are asking how that idea kind of spread around the world. So
yeah, why is it that everyone agrees with it if it's not, that person is not saying I have the same authority as the Quran?
Yeah.
No.
So actually, when we look at the Islamic teachings, we get to see sometimes scholars overrides the Quran, right? Sometimes
Sure.
scholars overrides the Quran as scholar. Hadith
Or they
overrides-
argue about the interpretation, right?
or Hadith overrides the Quran. So you've got these views. But in 1924, so people are taking their exams, and the way they are answering the questions are according to Quran they are reading. And then it has been officialized for the school. From now on, Hafs is the one we are going to use in our answers.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means next year when you answer the Quran with the Warsh Quran, you are gonna get 0 mark instead of like getting the right point for
So
your
this is
answer.
happening in a school, you're saying?
Yeah, it's happening in
The
school in
of Quran,
Al-Azhar.
or- yeah.
So and then okay, for students needs to use the Hafs Quran, and then what happens? Okay, in Egypt people need to use the Hafs Quran. Why did they pick the Hafs Quran? Because Ottomans were kind of conquered half of the world, almost half of the world. So
Yeah.
wherever Ottomans are going, the Quran they are using is Hafs Quran that is spreading, known much more comparing the Warsh Quran or comparing the Duri Quran.
Yeah, yeah.
When it is being forced at school, and then okay, people want to go to that school, what are they gonna do practically? They are gonna focus on that, the one they can use, right? There is no need for them to point out their ones or the ones they are reading. So
Yeah.
it becomes like more published, it becomes more used, and then it becomes more circulated.
Mm-hmm.
So like practical sides seems to me like this. But yeah, so like one of the questions we are asking Muslims as well, even in early stages when these Qurans are being picked and chosen, individual had never communicated with Gabriel or with Muhammad. Human beings made those decisions.
Right, right.
And we look at the church history, right? We get to see councils are meeting after meetings after meetings after
Yes.
meetings. Versus in Islam, you've got one person makes the decision. The moment you are going against him, well, all government is after you stuff. So
And but wouldn't there be, if Muslims are constantly saying you have textual problem, you have textual problem, you have textual problem, okay, wouldn't they say, okay, well, this is going to come to the Quran too, so we need to make sure that we can. No Muslims are saying, okay, well, science is going to ask us questions. You know what I mean? Academics are going to ask us questions. We should.
yes and no, because those manuscripts were not available for people to study. Whatever your imam tells you, you take it. Even though like Topkapi manuscripts, for example, today we can look back and then we can say in 1800 someone forged it. Because they put it on the beginning of the manuscripts. This is the manuscripts that Uthman was reading when he was killed. This is the blood of Uthman. And then it turned up, actually, no, that's not the case. Someone just simply forged that information to it. So informations are not available to the public. It's like only last couple of decades, those information, especially like since beginning of 2014, 2015, that's how I come across. Like, those are coming to people's attention. And once like it comes to people's attention, so information, how is that going to circulate? Even in the 21st century, like 2026, people are still saying those manuscripts are exactly the same. And we find out actually the very many
Yeah.
scholars, they said it was from Uthman. They had nothing to do with Uthman. So like it is area that people start digging into it
Hmm.
in the last couple of decades, and people start studying it as we get to see the process how Muslim missionaries are changing their approach, right? Back in 2017, 2020, they are saying dot by dot is exactly the same, but now, well, that's not the case because they didn't have the dots. So that's
Right.
changing. It's just taking time.
But you're saying it's sort of psychological that people are saying you have to agree with everything just the way we say it, or we are going to. So they're setting it up so that people are going to say, if there is one thing that my mind says doesn't work, then you're lying to me. And I'm saying, wouldn't there be some people who would say, well, there are many things in the Quran. I would say there are many things in the Quran that are beautiful. Okay, but maybe there are
Really?
these problems. So you know what I mean? In
What is
Christianity, we have
beautiful in Quran?
liberal Christianity.
You do have sheikhs such as Yasir Qadi, right? He talks about the he doesn't find Surah 4 verse 34's last part as beautiful. He says we need to say simply no to this. He makes fun of story of Yajuj and Majuj, right? So you do have those individuals, but they don't
Yeah.
get that much platform. So
Yeah.
common argument is dot by dot perfectly preserved, and if you doubt that, you are identified as disbelievers because Muslim scholars put fatwa on it.
Right. So it's like all or nothing kind of,
Yeah.
right? So you don't, because in Christianity, you must know there are liberals. There are people who say, well, the Bible is beautiful, but, you know, maybe about men with men, that was for then, not for now. I'm not saying I agree with that, but you know what I mean? There's more
Yeah, so I would think,
interpretation.
people can interpret it the way they want, but scripture doesn't give us that right. So Bible simply says relationship between husband and wife, man and woman, that's it. So there
I
is
agree.
there is no common ground. I don't think biblically I can say, oh, there are Christians who does that. There are individuals who are doing those kind of things, but that is not the case.
Yeah. But you can say, like, an interpretation of that, you could say, if you feel that way, but you don't act on it, God is okay with you. But if you act on it, it's a problem. That's an interpretation. Other people would say, if you have the inclination, God, you know, sees you as evil. You can have both positions. No?
I would disagree with that. So scripture overrides everything. You expressed, you hold the view that Pope is equal to the scripture. I would say scripture disagrees with that, and scripture doesn't give me place. Okay, I can pick and choose however I want, whatever I want. You take it or you don't take it.
But do you think that's maybe the Muslim mentality, is that you are still saying it's all or nothing, and that the scripture, like, I think any text needs interpretation, obviously, and people interpret it different ways.
Yeah, but interpretation is not my feelings.
Right. But you know, like, Catholics make arguments from scripture about, you know, Peter being given special authority. That's where we get the Pope thing. I understand that Protestants look at that a different way, and they don't see that. And I think they're wrong, and they think I'm right. But in Christianity, you have two groups there. In Islam, you only have one group.
No, you don't have only one group. There are lots of different groups, and Muhammad talks about over 72 groups, and then only one of them are correct, all those kind of things.
Oh, okay. So you have liberal Muslims who are saying, maybe we need to interpret.
You've got Muslims who are alphabet people.
Who are what?
Alphabet people, LGBTQ friendly, LGBTQ part. All
but
those
they tend to leave Islam. Is that right? Because
no, they identify themselves as Muslim.
But the let's say someone says, I think maybe the texts are not perfect. There are a variety of texts, variety of interpretation, whatever it is. Those people tend to get excluded, right, and seen as not Muslim, and fatwa against them, right?
Yeah, but they identify themselves still Muslim.
Oh, okay.
And
what happens?
They campaign for Islam. They campaign for Islam. So that I think we will, if that's okay with you, we will stop here, because I think overall I responded to your argument. And we
Yes,
want
very
to,
much.
yeah,
I
we want
appreciate your time.
that's okay, sir.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to point out something you mentioned earlier. You said as a Christian, you might find some beautiful things in the Quran.
Yeah.
I just wanted to emphasize once again, even there are Muslim scholars who disagrees that there are certain things are beautiful in the Quran, right? Therefore, they
Yeah.
say we need to say no to that. So,
Sure.
as a Christian, I am looking at the Bible, and only beautiful thing I can see all over the world is beauty of Lord Jesus Christ. Not anything in the Quran that I might say, oh, this is beautiful, because Quran is simply not very word of God, and it is very anti-Christ book ideology that shouldn't even be exist.
I understand that mentality. Yeah, sure. Anyways, thank you very much. Nice
Thank you
talking
very
to
much for calling in, sir.
Okay.
Brother Adam, he wasn't listening to. He wasn't
Yeah, he
listening.
wasn't even listening to any of our argument, quite frankly. He accepted the narrative of school, but school narrative it's the muftis in the school who can do fatwas, not anything else. It's not the principal of the school, it's the mufti of the Al-Azhar University.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, also, let me just point out something. I just want everyone to kind of remember something. It might be useful in your daily devotions as well as in your daily life. Okay. Scripture doesn't give us any place that there is someone or something that is equal to the scripture, or there is someone or something that is above the scripture. Scripture is above all. Scripture is above all. God didn't leave us person A, person B. God left us his Holy Spirit. So those are kind of basic reflections. Keep in your mind, it will help you in your daily devotions.
By the way, the ones who are listening, there are a lot of things, sister, which you had to mold your words into his understanding of words, which I think you did so that he could somehow understand. But if he will say something like this to a Muslim in a discussion, he will be thoroughly refuted.
And it's
And
okay. So he will learn how to develop his arguments. There is nothing wrong for individuals to use their arguments, and then once they find out, oh yeah, Muslims have very good comebacks to that, and then he can develop his arguments. He will learn how to use the correct terms as you are being corrected by people who you are engaging. I see that's like something kind of good thing. Like you learn much faster once you get demolished by people who are opposing what you think.
yeah, so like I would say to everyone who are listening to this, if you were never a Muslim or you have never engaged with Muslims, chew each and every word that we are saying in the theology of Islam, and that is very important. And I said it in my talk, which was very important, that Muslim take a verse of the Quran which says, indeed we have revealed it and we are its protector. That is one of the main go-to verse for them, not a mufti, not a scholar, not anything. That the interpretation that they have done for this verse is that Allah has revealed this Quran and Allah is its protector. So no matter how you actually look at it, when you actually say the school or Al-Azhar University or Mufti, they are actually claiming that this is the pure word of Allah which we have selected. It's not about authority. Islam gives authority to the ulul ilm, the people of knowledge. And that's how you get the sects of Islam as well. And authority comes with what? That's another important point over there. There are still countries in the world which does not accept Hafs Quran. They accept Warsh Quran, Morocco and certain other countries. But then again, they say this Quran is the perfect word of Allah. You cannot give them Hafs Quran. So just for the people who are listening, I just want to emphasize this point because this is a very important point. Because if you go to a Muslim from your understanding of your faith and then reflect your faith and try to show your faith onto their faith system, the first thing that they will say, you are ignorant, you are fool, you have no idea what you're talking about, and you are talking trash. That's what their answer will be to begin with. And then everything that you will say afterwards will lose its credibility. So my whole point was, forget what you have or what you have in a belief system, and just with an empty cup listen to what we are saying, and that is going to give you the real knowledge of Islam from the Islamic point of view. And if you cannot do that, and you will always going to move it into your point of view, things will go bad when you are having a discussion with a Muslim. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, sister.
Yeah, so just to kind of expand on Hafs Quran is being not Hafs Quran. There is a fatwa that you can't use Hafs Quran in Algeria, and there is a fatwa that you cannot use the Warsh Quran in Saudi during the prayers. So just
See, so now these are two fatwas, and that's what we were explaining earlier. Every single sect has its own mufti, and then they have their own reliable reading. Let's just say which one. And like you said, one mufti have given fatwa, you cannot use Hafs Quran. One has given the fatwa, you cannot use Warsh Quran. So which one is right to begin with? That's the whole idea, sister. That's the whole thing that I wanted him to listen, but unfortunately he was very impatient to
that's
listen to what
okay.
we were saying.
He's in the chat. It's okay. He's in the chat. He's
Oh, that's good that he's listening to what I
he's,
said, because at least when he was here, he wasn't listening, and now if he's typing and I can see he's typing so fast. Now I see the chat, 1,
yeah,
2, 3, 4 comments so fast. He's
that's
still not listening.
that's okay. That's okay. Okay. So we pointed out that none of those qira'ats are mutawatir. We pointed that out. What else in the video? We are already over time for
We
17
are
minutes.
already over time, so yeah, we can do another session on this one, because perfect preservation of Quran we have to do multiple times, I think.
Yeah. There are other parts in the video. We kind of review that as coming, but yeah, it wasn't very good overall. It wasn't very good representation of the Quran. You get to see how Muslims actually don't know very basics of their holy book, and how that holy book is being preserved or came to be. There was a part. Did we mention? I think it's important before we hang up. I can't even remember now.
While you try to figure it out, there is a guy called Muhammad. If Aaron Seeker is a man, why does he not show his face to go to Bulula Park to debate Uthman Farooq? The same Uthman Farooq who was destroyed by God Logic, running away from God Logic. The same Uthman who went to his own Muslim guy and he brought his own friend to debate with him. The same Uthman ibn Farooq who is not even a mufti, not a scholar, who said that he is not even a scholar. Is that the idiot you want me to debate? And by the way, what about the face? Your Allah doesn't even show the face. Is Allah below a woman then? Because Allah is not even a man, not even a woman. Like, really? That's your best argument, Mr. Muhammad? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry for you, my friend. And then he said, as a Muslim, we will take over Vatican and show everyone the real Injil who was hidden for a long time. Is he a joke or what? Oh my gosh. That was insane.
Think very practically, right? Okay, think very practically. Jesus says, Holy Spirit is the one coming, right? Guiding people. And he dies, his resurrection takes place, Spirit comes and then guides the believers. scripture are being putting together. People are writing all that. Biography of Jesus is being put together. Letters to the churches are put together. All that, and someone who is not even mentioned in the Bible as a position. This Mr. Muslim is saying somehow they are hiding the true Injil in that building. How is that even making sense to you? Like, why would someone hide the Injil in Vatican? Why? You know, like how far Vatican is from Jerusalem? Like, there is nothing there.
The real Injil is hidden in Vatican, sister. Muslims are going to capture Vatican and then show the real Injil. Come on.
Too much movie. Maybe this is not even movies. Too much TikTok Muslims. It's okay if you don't believe. Muslims can't say there is nothing beautiful in the Quran. Sheikhs are saying this is not good. We simply need to say no to this part. I know a Muslim scholar who is talking about the verse in Surah 2 where it says your wives are tilt to you. Go to them however you want. And then she says we need to simply say no to this verse. And that's okay. Like it doesn't change the fact whether Muslim says Quran is beautiful or not beautiful. Quran is still
No,
antichrist.
that's not the thing. That's what I said. I honestly can't believe that a Muslim would say that there is nothing beautiful in Quran. That's what I said. My friend, how do you think that, like, why would you think that I'm a Muslim? Like, underneath my name, it says Hujjatul Murtadeen, the proof of apostasy. Why would you even think I'm a Muslim? Like, I don't know what made him the impression that I'm a Muslim. Sister, how does my target sign on my name actually proves that I'm a Muslim somehow? That I said there's nothing beautiful in Quran. Not a Muslim. I said that.
Yeah, maybe I'm just like rethinking. Maybe I said something in the lines of like even Muslim scholar says there is nothing beautiful. When I was pointing out Sheikh Yasir Qadi is like rejecting 434, last part of 434 and making fun of Yajuj and Majuj. But anyway, I don't know if I misspoke there or not. But anyway, if I did, I apologize for that. I can't remember what I said, how I said it, but I was just pointing out even Muslim scholars are saying no to the parts of the Quran.
Certain parts of the Quran.
Yeah, no to the certain parts of the Quran. Okay. Anything else do you want to bring to our
Oh,
attention?
we have some super chats to say thanks to. This is on your side, I think.
Why would you waste your money on Christians? Seriously.
Glory to Islam, glory to Ummah. In Allah we trust, we save children and ban matazah. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
Adam
I am
Raju prayers to cow that falls farts till poop jeet. I have no idea what he wants to do.
I'm assuming that you are not Christian, and then all I can say is pray for wisdom that you don't waste your money to Christians. There is nothing. Islam deserves glory. I don't know if that is like whether it's like spelling mistake. I'm reading that as Islam. And glory to Ummah. In Allah we trust. We don't trust Allah. Allah is not trustworthy. That's what he expresses himself as, not being trustworthy. Even Muhammad couldn't trust Allah in Surah 8. Therefore, as a Christian, I don't trust Allah either. I trust my dog much more than Allah. So please don't waste your money on Christians. There is no way to send money back on YouTube when people do these contributions. No need to waste your money on those kind of things.
No, that's good. You should waste your money, all of it. That is good. It's better to waste it here rather than giving it to the jihadis. So yes, all the Muslims should do that. I hold a different opinion than Sister Hatun on this one. Sister, imagine if he sends it to Gaza people, what will they do? They'll create IDFs, right? So why? Like, it's better to come here than go there. Guliler said, an imminent critique of Islam. And now he's quoting, even if we accept your rules, your system still fails by them. This is me paraphrasing Karl Marx from Das Kapital. Forgive me for that.
He's like this communist guy,
Mhm.
socialist or communist. They are the same, not much different.
Almost similar, yeah. Sana manuscript differs from the present Quran a
Yes,
lot.
yes. Of course, depend which Sana you are talking about. Are you talking about Sana palimpsest or Sana manuscripts that are under the Sana? You've got lots of, but yes, they do not match with the current Quran we are reading. There are lots of textual variations in them.
I think the top layer has over 20,000 variances, and the bottom layer, if we include that, then there are over 100 and something.
All you need is one variation to destroy the 1000 something. All you need is one variation to destroy individuals like Adnan Rashid's argument that perfect preservation of the manuscripts.
Guliler, I have read that. I think no. He said FOLS to 2026 does not even bother to mention C12 or C14 normalization. That's the statistical conundrum. TBF, I don't know what that is. I'm yet to go through some more data. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Attention warranted. Thank you for your attention. But yeah, let's see what happens with this FOLS 2026. They are going to do that for this manuscript. Let's see what they actually come out with. I'm actually waiting for that. Adam brings Sahil to Christianity in these talks. When Sahil is ready, he will come. Yes. Sister, you were saying something, showing something. Sorry.
No, I just put a comment on it without like acknowledging you already had a comment on the screen. I apologize.
No worries, no worries. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Like all hypocrites, Karl Marx didn't believe.
Oh my gosh. Blackpink, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. All right. So to be frank, okay, thank you, Mr. Protestant believer. To be frank, I'm too old to remember all of these abbreviations, but thanks for letting me know. Appreciate it. All right. So we are done with that.
Yeah, thank you very much everyone for their generosity. And Adam, thank you very much for joining me to review kind of little bit of the debate between Team and Orthodox Muslim. Good work by a Christian for confronting the perfect preservation of the Quran, and all we take away is all these things are shit and trash and whatever other words.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
you can play him again. You can play him again from that part, just for the people of knowledge to have the knowledge that this is not what we are saying. This is what Orthodox
Muslim.
Orthodox Muslim. What is his name? Libiano, right?
I don't. On the thing, Libiano, it says.
Yeah, Libiano, the lipstick guy. He is saying. So, I think we are not saying that. So remember, if all of this is trash, it is him saying it.
Yeah, just a second. Let's start from this part first. Even like other thing is like with the previous caller ban, Muslims are calling their things like all this kind of things, so they don't see these things very beautiful as well. This is the remind me the part where he says trash as well.
You're not even interested.
Just finish, brother. Finish.
This is
You said that.
I already told you this is the tactic here. They don't want to talk about Christianity. They want to talk about random shit, right? I already entertained it.
They want to talk about random shit. He's gonna explain it. Keep on playing.
The manuscript didn't work. This is not working. All of that to avoid Christianity.
That's not the case.
It is.
No, he's talking about Christianity. No, that was a different part where he was explaining everything.
Yeah, so there is a part little bit later where he says this is trash, this is rubbish. Where is that part?
I don't know. You brought it up, remember? In the very beginning? Okay, let me go to the very beginning.
Oh, okay. Your argument sucks. That's okay. I remember. You know what? I used to think like oh, I never remember this video stuff. If I listen it, I'm just like, oh, I remember interesting stuff in this video.
33-second mark. 33-second mark.
Get you to justify preservation.
33 seconds.
Just wait.
No. You guys wasting time. You can't be guys wasting time. So are you that we have?
Zayd ibn Thabit version.
Yeah, the one that he compiled. Does it match?
No, but we're looking at the compilation. You're talking outside of the hadith. I'm talking inside the hadith.
Okay.
That's the whole problem. You're talking outside of it. Do you understand it?
That's not
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's not how we.
Say what you say.
That's not how we establish preservation.
No,
All
you
over
can't
the place.
determine how we establish.
We can.
You can't
Yes, I
determine.
can.
I'm making my
I can.
argument.
Your argument sucks. It's
Your
trash.
defense sucks.
Terrible.
You're talking
Your
about
argument is
no,
garbage.
No, it isn't.
It's trash.
It's not.
It's ass.
It isn't.
It's cheap.
Well, who are the witnesses then?
Anyways.
Well, who are the
Oops.
Very nice things to say. Not very nice.
Oops.
He doesn't even say oops. And like he's using those words again, like all the conversations about the Quran, and none of the Muslims steps in to correct him. So but he needs to get credit. Like those words wouldn't come to my mind if I'm in the conversation. It's good, like certain individuals have those words in their default fault, right? Okay. Adam, any debates are coming in next couple of days until I see you next Tuesday?
There is one coming up this Saturday about the original sin.
Okay. With a
The
Muslim?
Quran does not talk about original sin. Only Bible talks about original sin.
Okay. That's in your Urdu channel?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's see.
Yeah, those of you who speak Urdu and joining us on Adam's channel, please keep eye on that. Thank you very much everyone who joined us in the chat, and especially thank you very much to brother Phil for moderating the chat. I really appreciate that, brother. I don't verbalize these things, but yeah, I do really appreciate your hard work.
And thank you, Blackpink, and thank you to all the moderators who actually do that for free. And Protestant Believer on my side, and other Salam Aran. Salam Aran, Salam Aran has been with me from the last 7 years. Like from the very beginning of my channel, when I had like what, 400 or 500 subscribers. She has been there since that time. Like she is still there, and beautiful sister, godly woman. She has been there. Protestant Believer. These two are one of the very oldest moderators on my channel.
Faithful. Phil is very faithful as well. Yeah, thank you very much for being very generous with your times and with your moderating skills. We really
Viger, let me say thanks to you as well, because he's moderator on both of my channels, my English and my Urdu channel. So Viger, thank you so much, buddy. And everyone, all of the moderators. I have so many moderators, man. So thank you, all of them. And thank you, Phil. Even though you do not show up on my channel, you're always there on Sister Hatun's channel. But still, that's okay. Fair enough.
How can he do 2 channels at the same time, brother? Come on. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much, everyone who joined us. And as I said, if you are curious about the video follow-up conversation stuff, please check out Soccer Films, and then you can watch the full video there. Adam, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much, everyone who joined us on Adam's YouTube channel and Facebook, as well as on DCCI. By God's grace, we will see you on another live stream or another different platform.
Christ is risen indeed. Allahu Akbar wa Yeshua Akbarul Azim. God bless you all.